Great. So, welcome everyone. So for those of you I've not met yet, I'm Lindsay. So I have been a yoga teacher for about 2.5 years full time and have been practicing yoga for half my life because I'm much older than I look. So I've been practicing yoga for about 15 years. And these sessions that I bring you guys are based on Vinyasa yoga. So Vinyasa is flow, and it's all about just moving the body with care, placing the body with care, and about linking our breath with our movement in a way that hopefully helps us to feel amazing. So we're going to start today in child pose. If anyone doesn't know child pose, it's sinking your hips back onto your heels and then letting the arms come forward. But I really want you to relax for this opening posture. So I want the elbows to be slightly bent and soft, or your hands maybe together, maybe they're just soft. Fingertips don't need to be engaged. And forehead is going to be dropping down onto the floor. As I said, those hips sinking back. And just have a little bit of movement here, have a bit of a fidget and get comfortable. It's all about feeling comfortable. Now, if you notice that the gap beneath your head means you're straining your neck or your chest is feeling a bit unsupported, then grab a pillow from your sofa, from your bed, wherever you're practicing, and just use that to prop yourself up. Or alternatively, put your head on your hands. Equally, if there's any pressure in the chest here, for anyone who is feeling uncomfortable there, just take your knees slightly wider and then your chest can fall in between the legs. So for some of us, that's more comfortable on the bust, on the chest muscles. It might even be more comfortable on the hips to have them apart rather than together. So always take your time with this first posture and just get it really comfy. I want to feel really cozy on these wintry autumnal days. And then just start to let go, start to let the head drop, start to let the body relax. Close your eyes and just soften down towards the ground. Feel supported here as you lie on the earth. Feel stable in this stillness. And just start to feel where the body is making contact with the earth. Start to notice the shins, the ankles and the feet resting heavily onto the earth. Feel where in your arms you're making contact with the ground. And then draw your attention to what we call in yoga the third eye, the place just between your brows and your forehead, which both should hopefully be comfortably supported. Letting your heavy head rest here. And as you soften into the ground, just becoming one with the earth for a moment. As we ground ourselves here, becoming one with the very subtle movement of the earth. As we know, the earth is slowly moving around. And sometimes it might feel the world is moving faster or slower than you might like. But just taking a moment here to be still and move at the pace of the world around you. Start to recognize how slow that pace really is. So slow that as you rest here, you can't even notice any movement at all. So from this, you can start to recognize the stability of the earth in the earth. You lie here supported by the ground,
Allow yourself to completely let go. Let your body to relax. Let your mind focus purely on lying here, feeling the ground. Perhaps you begin to recognize the texture of your mat. Perhaps you notice if it's soft, smooth, firm, steady. Maybe there's a temperature to the mat, to the space around you. Begin to tune in to any sounds that you hear in your environment, both inside and outside the room you've chosen today. Just recognize some part of that space. In this stillness, find your strength. In this stillness, find your own stability. And let's start to now take a nice deep inhale. Breathing in that life from the space around you, the warmth of the air. And breathing into the back of the body, so the back expands here as the chest remains sandwiched down to the earth. And then as you exhale, you soften ever more down into the ground. Inhale, breathing deeply into the back of the lungs, the back of your spine. Feel some expansion. And then as you exhale and softly let go. Inhale, filling up the breath deeply through the back of the body. Sense of expansion from the hips to the shoulders. Maybe your arms begin to reach further out ahead. And then exhale, soften through the joints, through the muscles, through the whole body. Inhale, each in-breath is a sense of expansion and lengthening. Exhale, softening through. Inhale deep. Exhale. Last two, inhaling here. Tuning into this breath as you exhale, letting go. Last time in. Fill up the whole of the back and then hold that breath and just take 3 counts. Holding the breath in for 2. For 1, slowly let go. And then let's really start to walk those hands out ahead of the body. So to look up to the fingertips, they walk away from the body, reaching as far up the mat as possible. And then start to alternate one hand and then the other. So if you were climbing a ladder, just gently stretching one side and then the other. You might notice you get a little bit of wiggle in your hips, a little bit of swagger in this pose. Just gently stride those arms. Start to stretch out the sides of the body. And maybe you exaggerate. Maybe the head starts to rock side to side as well. It's just getting the body starting to warm up with these movements. And you start to really walk the hands as if you were a creature walking on your front paws up towards the top of the mat. And then as you come back into the center, inhale, start to bring the weight of the shoulders forward over the wrists. And then exhale, take the hips all the way back to the heels. Inhale, bring those shoulders forward. And exhale, sinking back. Let's do a few rounds. Inhale, forward. Exhale, drawing back. Inhale, slide the body forward. And exhale it back. Inhaling forward. Exhaling back. Last couple, inhale forward. Exhaling back. Inhale, lifting forward. And then exhale, sink those hips back. From here, let's inhale and start to gently roll the body up now. So you're sitting back on your heels. Now checking in once you get here, as you lift the head up last,
Roll up to sit tall, let the shoulders come down. And then just seeing if you feel comfortable sat here. So does it feel okay to be on the knees? Does it feel okay? Maybe you need to tuck under the toes and lift a bit higher. Maybe you decide you'd rather have the legs crossed or straight in front of you. So we're going to be here for a little while, so make sure you're comfortable. Comfort is always the key. And then take a couple of rolls of the shoulder back once you get there. Nice steady rolls, slowly, just wiggling out any bits of tension in those shoulders, any bits of tightness that you sense. And then letting the shoulders drop back and down. Start to inhale here. Start to lift the hands all the way up overhead. Nice big stretch. Clasp the fingertips together. Reach up to the ceiling. High as you can go. Lifting. And then as you exhale, we're going to bring the right hand down and lean the left hand over to this right side. Inhale, lifting up. Your arms are really sandwiched up around your ears. And then exhale over to the left side. Inhale, lift back up. And as you lift, really think about pulling up in with your belly. So everything draws up. And then as you exhale, left arm to the ear, right hand comes down. Inhale, lift up tall. Exhale, over to the left. And then start to make this movement flowing and continuous. Imagine if you were a tree swaying in the autumn breeze. One arm up by the ear, leaning over. Inhale up, exhale over. And I'm using the ground slightly just to push off, to lift. So rock slowly side to side, just lengthening out the sides of the body today. Working with our spinal muscles to build that strength and stability within ourselves. So as much as the earth supports us in this grounded way, it's important to also find a way to support yourself in times where the earth or the world around you might seem unsteady. Come back to the center. Lift those hands back up, clasp the fingertips together, lift up high, look up to the sky. And then slowly bring the hands behind you, clasp the fingertips together. Take an inhale, draw the shoulders back, and just gently lift your chest. Let your hands rest here towards the lower back. And just gently draw the shoulders back, draw the chest forward, nice and proud. Don't be afraid to be proud with the chest. And then from here, slowly, we're going to take a little bow forward again, back to the earth, and lift these arms right up over the head. The head drop, slow and steady into the ground again. Take 2 more breaths here, in and out. Inhale and exhale. As you inhale slowly, pull the hands back up. Take a big sweep now. We're going to take this left arm back. And then exhale, peel the arm back forward. Inhale, take the right arm back. Imagine you can reach all the way and touch the ceiling as you bring the hand back. And then exhale, come forward. Inhale. So slowly twisting into the spine. Inhaling as we wake up the shoulders. Inhale, reach up, over, opening up. So usually we inhale and we open. And then we exhale and close. So the breath usually matches the movement in a particular way. Inhale to open. Exhale to close. So an inhale is about extension, engagement, and lifting through the body. And then you're exhaling. As you're softening, you're curling, and you're folding back to yourself. Inhale, left arm open. Exhale, coming back in. Inhale, right arm open. We'll do one more set after this. Exhale to close. Last time, inhale, open, expand, and then just hold here. Letting this hand maybe stretch behind you. Maybe it touches the floor. Right hand rests on the knee. Just holding as you inhale. Exhale. One more time, inhale. And then exhale, close forward. We'll inhale up to the other side to hold now for 3. Lifting up in the spine, drawing in the ribs for 2. Keep the breath slow, steady, deep for 1. As you exhale, gently close back. And then let's walk the hands forward. Come back to all fours position now. Maybe just take a little circle of the hips a few times in one direction. And then a few times the other way. Take our final spinal warm up, spreading the fingertips. As you inhale, I want you to imagine that you could pull the chest and the heart all the way to the top of the mat. And as you do, the back just slightly arches to allow that chest to come forward. We're going to engage the belly there, so you pull right up into the spine rather than hanging out. So nice soft engagement. And then as you exhale, you pull the belly to the spine and you pull the spine to the sky. Inhale, chest forward, engage those belly muscles as you engage forward. And then exhale, give the glutes a little squeeze, tuck them under as the spine lifts up. Inhale, the chest pulling forward, your heart reaching to the front of your mat. Exhaling, rounding the back up to the ceiling. Inhaling, belly low, chest forward. Exhaling, arch your back to the sky. 2 more, inhale, chest forward. Exhale, rounding your back. Last one here. Inhale, chest forward. Exhale, rounding the back up. Take your hips back to your heels for a moment. Walk those hands forward again. And then gently tuck under your toes. Let's lift the hips back and up. First downward facing dog. Maybe your first one of today. So have a little walk of that dog. Bend each knee alternately. Maybe take a shake of the hips if that feels good. Whatever works in your body. I don't know your particular body. I'm not there with you. So really trust in yourself to choose what suits you as we go through practice. All about what suits you and your particular mood, your energy, your body. And that is where the skill in yoga comes. It's not by being able to do every pose perfectly. It comes by knowing yourself deeply, inherently understanding what is best for you right here, right now. So start to lower the knees back onto the ground. And from here, I want you to take your right leg straight back behind you. Then as we exhale, we're going to draw that knee as if you could tuck it into your right armpit. Lower the knee down to your wrist, hovering just above the floor. And then inhale straight out. We're going to do a few of these. Exhaling, you come in towards the armpit. Lower on that same exhale. And then inhale, straighten back out. Exhale, knee to armpit. Lower to wrist. Inhale, expand 2 more times. Exhale, draw your knee in. Lower to the wrist. Inhale, expand. Exhale, knee in. Lower to the wrist. Inhale, expand. Last time, exhale, knee in. Lower. Inhale, expand, then holding here for 3 breaths. Want this leg straight and strong. I'm going to point the toes if that feels comfortable. Flex and push your heel away if not. So 2 different versions there. Pointing the heel is going to really get into the calf and the hamstring. Pointing the toes, also going to get that hamstring, but it's going to engage potentially the front of the leg as well. Holding here for 1 more in. And then exhale. Let's bring this knee down. Take a little shake of the hips side to side as if you were wagging your tail like a happy little puppy. And then let's come onto the other side. Inhaling, lift the left leg straight back. Exhaling again. Get this momentum as if you could bring the knee to your armpit, but don't worry if it doesn't get there. Lower the wrist down, knee down to the wrist, and then inhale, open up. It's all about direction of travel as you exhale in. It's the leading your energy in that way, but maybe not quite getting there, and that's okay. 3 more times. Exhale, knee in. Lower down. Inhale, extend. 2 more. Exhale, knee in. Lower. And inhale, extend. 1 more. Exhale, knee in. Lower down. And then inhale, extend. We're going to hold now that choice of either pointing toes or flexing the heel up to you. I'm going to get a lift there in the hips. I want to feel strong. It's like straight out behind. One more inhale here. And then exhale, bring the knee down. Let's take that little shake, side to side. Spread your fingertips. We're coming back up to downward facing dog. Toes tuck under, hips and heels, drawing to the back of the mat. And breathing fully, deeply here. Inhaling. And exhaling. Inhale. And exhale. You're going to have one more breath here. Breathe in deeply. And then as you exhale, look up to your hands, bend your knees, and walk the feet to find the hands. Nice and low. So you come here with bent knees still at the front of the mat. The feet are about the distance of your hips. I'm going to show you from the front. Hip distance is really not as big as we all think. We've got much narrower hips than we assume. So it's where your hips, your knees, and your toes will start to line up. Hover here, maybe then just take a little shake to each side. And the hip distance feet will help you to stay stable. So just rocking out last couple of times. And then as you inhale, let the hands drop down. We're going to roll ourselves up to stand. Pushing those feet down, spreading the toes. Let your head, let your shoulders, let your fingers rest. And then roll back and round. A couple of nice rolls of the shoulders, always fun. So from here, I want you to bring your hands onto your pelvis. So I want your fingertips to be here and this pelvic joint. Your little fingers are somewhere in the crease of your groin, where your hips meet your legs. And I want your thumbs to come onto the back of the hips. So from here, we're going to start to take a little bow forward. We're just going to go halfway. So your hands are going to start vertical. And then you know you're halfway when your fingertips are horizontal to the floor. So take an inhale, stand up tall, pull in the ribs and the belly. And then exhale, start to fold halfway. Feel the point where those fingertips start to come horizontal to the floor. And then as you inhale, we're going to keep the back straight and we're going to lift all the way back up. And we're going to do this a few more times. Exhale to bow. So you were just bowing to an audience, applauding you. And then inhale, lift up, keeping the back nice and flat. And your neck is staying long. So your eyes are just slowly following as if there's a line painted on the wall in front of you down towards your mat. And then you inhale, lift up tall. We're going to do two more. Exhaling, strengthening the back. The hips are going to go back. As you bow, you'll find a natural counterbalance. And then inhale to lift. Last time, guys. Exhale. Fold yourself down. Inhale to lift. So keeping this flat back sensation now as you inhale, the arms reach up. As you exhale, fold halfway. And then start to surrender all the way down. And maybe the knees soften or maybe the legs are able to stay straight. And then inhale, come back halfway. This time the hands stay low. Exhaling from here, let's step the right foot and the left foot back to plank. And then lower your knees and draw the chest all the way down to the left. Inhale from there, belly down. And again, same sensation we had with our cat-cow. We want the chest to pull forward, the belly to pull up. And then exhale, come back, either take a child pose or come up to downward facing dog. It's up to you. We're going to have 3 breaths here. If you want to move the legs, have a little dance, have a little wiggle, that's absolutely fine. Do what you need to do. If you're happy in stillness, then do that. And if at any point there's any discomfort or disagreement from your body, there's a shaking in the arms or the legs, that's your body asking you to pause. So listen to your body, please. Take one more breath here. In, out. And then inhale, lift up the right leg. And as you exhale, we're going to bring the shoulders over the wrist. We're going to bring the elbow and knee to the armpit, lower to the wrist. And then inhale, lift. We're going to do 2 more. Exhale, knee to armpit, lower to wrist.
Inhale, lift up. One more. Exhale, knee to armpit. Lower to wrist. Inhale, lift. You're starting to really warm up now. As you exhale, step the foot forward. And then step the left foot up to join. Take an inhale again. So they feel this flat back, this long chest forward. Take an exhale, bow. Feel free to bend the knees if you like. And then inhale again, flat back. Maybe you use a hand on the back and the belly to check that you are lifting up nice and flat. Arms up by your ears. Exhale, we're going to fold and do the same thing again. Lower down. Inhale, lift up halfway, look forward. Exhale, step your left foot, then your right foot back to a plank. Lower your knees, bring the chest down between the fingertips. Inhale, the chest is lifting forward and up. And then exhale back, taking your child, your down dog, whichever posture you feel comfortable in this evening. Let those arms wrap up around your ears, let your heels start to slide back towards the back of the mat. Legs engaged, legs strong, so your kneecaps are lifting. It's as if there's a magnet above your hips, gently pulling every part of your body up towards it. And if your body simply wants to lift up off the ground into the sky. Last time here, inhaling, exhaling. And then as you inhale, lift this left leg, right foot stable, and start to bring the knee into the armpit. Lower down to the wrist, and then inhale, extend. Exhale, armpit to wrist, and inhale, extend. Exhale, last time in towards the shoulder, the wrist. Inhale, extend, and then exhale, foot to the hands. Bring the right foot up to join, take a fold. Take an inhale, lift up halfway. Take an exhale, fold back down. And then inhale again, and find this flat back lift. You can use your hands if you need, if you're not sure you're there. And take the hands back up to the sky. Exhale, hands by your hips. And then inhale, let's sink these hips back. And have a look for me. Make sure as you sink the hips back, you can see your toes. Maybe you can even see your ankles. Your arms are reaching forward. Drawing in again with the front as if your chest was lifting forward and up whilst your back stays nice and flat as your belly stays nice and flat. Inhaling here. And then exhale, let's fold down, nice long body. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, step your right foot, left foot back to plank. Your choice now to lower the knees, or if you're comfortable bringing the shoulders forward and going halfway, then do that. Inhaling again, belly lifts up, really engage with them, pulling up with those muscles, and then exhale, back up to the sky. From here, inhale, lift the right leg. We'll move straight forward. Exhale, either hovering or bring knee to armpit, down to wrist. Inhale, lift. You've got two more, or step forward to warrior one. If you don't want to do these, that's fine. Inhale, lift. You've got one more move. Exhale, forward, lower. Inhale to lift. And then exhale, foot between the hands, back heel in. The arms begin to float up to stand tall. Lovely, warrior one. Push the heels down into the air. And maybe you give the glutes a little squeeze. Again, hands to pelvis. Have a little look for me here. So your back foot's at 45 degrees. So it's just out at an angle that feels comfortable. The leg is lifting up, just switching on the muscles. So the back leg's nice and strong. And then both of these hips are facing forward. Your hands should be level when you place a hand on each hip joint. If not, maybe it's your body, or maybe you can adjust a little bit to get yourself there. From here, staying tall, we're going to inhale, lift the arms up overhead now. And then either hovering here, or you take hold of this left wrist in your right hand and take a little lean. Really think about your ribs. Have a look. You place your hands on your center line of your belly. Can you see if you can keep the ribs above the hips, above that hip joint, not popping out? And then gently, as I said, we're going to lean to the side if that feels comfortable. But 2 more breaths here, just holding steady, legs are strong. Only the side of the body is moving. Inhaling. Exhaling one more time here. Inhale.
and exhale. Inhale back to center lift, and then exhale, we're opening into a warrior two. So your back foot's now facing the edge of the mat. Front foot is forward, front knee is towards the very front of the mat. We're pushing both of them down, and again, we're creating stability also through the center. We're going to make this dancing just like we did earlier. So as you inhale, we're going to bring this right arm back, left leg to left thigh. And then as you exhale, we're going to sweep the hands forward. Inhaling, floating back. Exhale, forward. Inhale back, number 3. Exhale, forward. Inhale, steadily floating back, just like those branches of a tree swaying in the wind. And then for this next one, as you inhale, come back, we're going to hold in our reverse warrior. Pushing both feet down, lifting up the knees, engaging, stretch this top arm overhead. Maybe this left hand comes onto the thigh, whatever feels comfortable for you. Last breath here. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhale, come back to the center. Then as you exhale, bring the front elbow to the knee and bring this other arm up overhead. And then again, we're going to hold here. Now you can stay where you are. That's a great place. If you want a little bit more, checking again, then we're keeping the legs stable. We're keeping the front knee over the ankle. If you want that bit more, you pick up this right arm and holding the arms up around your ears, starting to activate a little bit more of the core. You're keeping the ribs pulled in, the belly is strong, everything's switched on to hold you here. Any shaking means just resting down. And if you're resting with the elbow on the knee, it should be soft. It should just be kind of hanging out there to help you balance. So all of us are still using the strength of the side body. Last time here, inhale, exhale. And then as you inhale, start to straighten the front leg. Either now, the arms go straight in your in Trikonasana, or if you want to continue with your core, then do so and have those arms forward. And we're really turning, so the shoulders are stacking. So everything is on this nice thin line. Could be the idea of a pane of glass to make you think that your whole body was a pane of glass, all lining up from these front toes. Last 2 breaths here, in and out. Final breath, in and out. Inhale, we're going to lift up to the ceiling. We're going to turn both feet now. Face the long edge of the mat. Adjust the feet if the distance doesn't feel quite right. And then again, bring your hands to your hips, thumbs to the back. Take an inhale, stand up tall. If you've got socks on still like me, this might be where it all goes out the window. As you exhale, we're going to again take this halfway fold. So really use the thumb on the back of the pelvis to help encourage the turning of the pelvis. So we get the elongation through the spine. Just come in till the point where your hands feel as if they're parallel. Little fingers inside that crease of your pelvis and your thigh. And then just holding here. So we're really working to strengthen in the back. Really working to build stability in our core, in our center. And our center isn't just our abs and what we think of as our abs, our rectus abdominis. It's not a six-pack. Our core is everything from the glutes, all the tiny muscles around the hips, to the lower back, the erector spinae, so the muscles alongside the side of the spine, your transverse ab, the corset that wraps around. That's what we're using right now to keep us stable. So to me, all of these different muscles are what make up a core. You can't just isolate one. You need the whole of your back and your hips to be strong in order to be stable in yourself. Take one more deep in breath here, out breath. And then as you inhale, slowly start to lift yourself back up. You're going to turn the front foot forward, re-bend this knee, open up your arms back to warrior two. Take a big inhale there. And then as you exhale, cartwheel the hands forward and bring them onto the mat. Step your right foot back. And then lower the chest all the way down. Keep the knees on the floor if you prefer. Inhale, pull up through the chest, through the belly. And then exhale, either take a child pose if you want to break, or go up into your down dog. And just taking 3 breaths. Just tuning back into sense of grounding. So where are the points of contact with the floor? What are your hands and feet? Feel that ground supporting them. Come back to noticing sensations in the floor. So bring your mind back into the moment. Let go of the practice we've had so far. Let go of the practice on that one side. It's over now, it's done. Instead, focus on how you're feeling here in this exact moment. And as you exhale, let's slowly make our way. Feet coming up to the hands. Finding a nice fold and inhaling. Flat back, lift the body all the way back up to stand. As we inhale, we'll come back into that chair pose. So bringing hips backwards, knees back over the ankles perhaps. You can see your ankles. The feet are together. Arms are drawing forward. 3 breaths, pulling everything into that central line. 2 breaths, feeling strong and steady here. 1 breath. And then exhale, folding down, lift those hips. Inhale, look forward, lengthen out the body. And then exhale, step left foot, right foot back. Knees all halfway lower, up to you. And then inhale, chest all the way forward. Exhale, hips back and up to the sky. And then inhale again. So option to stay, to hold the left leg up, or exhale, knee to armpit, to wrist, and inhale lift. So choice to fly or to stay still, exhaling to lower, inhaling to lift. Last time, exhale in, lower, inhale to lift, and then everybody meeting, left foot forward, back heel to the earth. Warrior 1, sweeping those arms up to the sky, letting the body sink back down. Right heel pushes down, left knee over the ankle, breathing deeply. And as you check the back foot at that slight angle, so you've got the strength in this leg, kneecap pulling up, thigh pulling up, everything drawing in. And then place the hands on the hips, checking that your hips are about the same level, both facing forward. But don't worry too much. We don't need to be too specific here. All depends what's happening in your body. From here, we're going to reach the arms up, wrap them around by your ears, and then an option to stay still, or take your right wrist in your left hand, and then keeping those ribs in, really getting that draw up and in. We might start to take our lean over towards the left. So we lean towards the front knee. And you're getting extension in the right hip, perhaps, in the right side of the spine. Maybe you're just finding it a bit more interesting. So keep drawing in here through the center, lifting tall, 2 more breaths in and out. 1 more breath in and out. As we inhale, we stand up straight first, keep the chest and pelvis forward. And then as you exhale, begin to turn. The back foot now stands tight, turn slightly to face the side of the mat. So giving those glutes a great big squeeze, bringing the front knee over the ankle, opening the arms wide, expanding out, breathing steadily. And then we're making this little warrior dance. So start to bring the right hand back, start pulling the left hand over. And then exhale, come forward. Inhale, reversing back. Exhale, coming forward. Inhale back. And exhale forward. 2 more times. Inhale, dance it back. Exhale forward. This time as you inhale, come back to hold for 3 breaths. Bring this top arm up over. Look up to the sky. Maybe the back hand stays. Maybe it wraps around to find your front thigh. Just an option for those of you that want it. Last 2 breaths, deeply in. And deeply out. Final breath in. And then as you exhale, front elbow to knee. And bring this right arm all the way up overhead. Take a nice big stretch. Nice side angle posture. Now you can stay there. It's beautiful. If you want that a little bit more, and if you did it on the other side, try to try to match. We want our body to feel equal. And then just do 2 more breaths, holding as you inhale. Ribs pulling in, whole body strong. Feet pushing down into the ground, exhale. Last one here, inhaling. Exhaling, and then inhale, we'll straighten the front leg. Either left hand is on the shin, right hand to the sky. We're not pushing down, we're using that hand just as a little guide to encourage us up. Or from your Trikonasana, you can continue to lift both arms. Engage the legs, pull the kneecaps up, pull the body up away from the ground rather than collapsing down. And start to get this idea of everything being on this pane of glass, this nice straight line from front toe across the body. So your hips are turning, your ribs are turning. Last breath here, in, exhale, and then inhale, lift up to the sky, turn both feet to this long edge. From there, clasp the fingertips now onto the lower back. And then just resting there with the hands nice and gently. We're going to slowly take a fold forward. So feeling on the back when you think you're about halfway. Just trust your judgment here. Inhale, bring the chest forward. And then as you exhale this time, we're going to let the back soften. And maybe you run the hands down the spine just to encourage that softening. And then maybe you either clasp the fingertips together, leave them here. Or you can lift up the hands and let them fall down so you get a shoulder stretch. Well, leave it up to you how you want to practice that. Keep the heels pushing down so the backs of the legs extend. Switching on the muscles, lifting up your hips, breathing deeply in and out. Inhale and exhale. 2 more, deeply in, deeply out. 1 more here, in and out. As you inhale, start to pull the fingertips back, start to lift up your chest. Turn the front foot forward, bend the knee and bring those arms back out, expanding out in a lovely big warrior two. From here, let's cartwheel the hands forward. Step the left foot back, your choice of lowering knees, chest, chin, or halfway. Inhale, expand the belly forward and up. And then exhale, let's take the hips right back to the heel. Come back to child pose where we began. Extending the body forward. Hands creeping to the top of the mat with your hips desperate to sink back onto your heels. And just lowering yourself gently down. Softening the body into the ground. Breathe fully, deeply in and out. Inhale, exhale. Last time, in and exhale. As you inhale now, slowly, slowly start to roll yourself back, hips onto heels. Head comes up at the end, just gently lifting yourself up to sitting tall. We'll do just 1 more little back bend here. So bring the hands behind you, fingertips towards toes. Just take a lift there with the chest. Now your option is to stay there on the fingertips. You can bring the palms down if that feels comfortable. And you can also think about lifting up your hips off the heels. Again, it's all about what feels comfortable. This isn't going to suit everybody. And just take 3 breaths wherever you're comfortable. Gentle arching in the back, lifting the chest, tall and proud. Belly in and up. 1 more breath in. And then exhale, release. As you release, you're going to cross the ankles. And you can either step through, you can jump through. If you want to have a little go at something a little bit more technical, you spread the fingertips, you push, and you try just to hover the hips up above the floor. And then expand the legs forward. It didn't work for me today. Some days it works, some days it doesn't. If it works for you, then that's great. Enjoy that little jump through moment. We can do jump throughs in a different session. But now the legs are extended, just get rid of any fleshy bits underneath your hips. Take an inhale, lift up tall. And then exhale. Begin to fold yourself down. And the head and chest bow. Hands just softly coming onto your shins. Maybe the ground beside you is comfortable. Maybe your ankles, maybe the feet, but only as a last resort and only if it really does feel comfortable for you. Then letting the head and chest bow. Breathing fully. Inhaling. And exhaling. A couple more times here, breathing in. Breathing out. Inhale fully. Exhale fully. Inhale. And exhale. Last two here, in. Out. Breathing. And as you exhale, rolling the body up. Let's bring the right foot now in towards us. We're going to bring the left arm around. Give yourself a great big hug. And then bring this right hand behind you. It's just a gentle twisting. It's up to you. Maybe you're comfortable here, just hugging that knee. It's a really nice, loving gesture. If you want a little bit more, then perhaps you bring this left elbow onto the knee. And you use that left elbow to encourage the shoulders to turn as well as the ribs. Take a little look behind you. Keep the left toes engaged. So left toes lift up. Heel is grounded. The spine is lifting tall as you turn. Just taking a couple more breaths in. Big breath in. And out. Let your head drop down. And let the back arm relax. So the elbows soften. Shoulders soften. There's no strain and pushing in that back arm for now. Last one here. In. And then as you exhale, turn back to face the front. Bring the foot down and just again take a little bow just to counter that stretch. Folding into yourself. Softening here. Couple more rounds in. And out. Inhaling. And exhaling. Last time inhale. Exhale. And then inhale, rolling yourself up. Let's just gently change sides. Bring the left knee in. The right leg extend. Bring this right ankle round. And just gently hug your knee as the left arm starts to settle behind you. Let the head drop softly. And just seeing how you feel here. If you're comfortable in this position, if you want to, you can bring the elbow up to the knee to encourage the shoulders around as well as the spine. And then soften this back arm, soften the back shoulder, let the whole body settle in. Breathe deeply in and out. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhale fully and deeply. And then as you exhale, softly turn back forward. Bring this foot into the thigh, take your bow again, humbly down. Arms just resting where they feel comfortable. No pressure to go particularly far. It's all about what suits your body, what feels correct for you right here, right now. Doesn't matter what you could do yesterday or what you may be able to do tomorrow. All that matters is what feels right here, right now. Last two breaths in and out. Breathing in and out.
And then inhale, coming up. Let's bring both feet onto the floor. Come down to your spine. Just bring the knees up into the chest. So you can give yourself a great big hug. Maybe rock gently this way and that. Nice little massage for the spine. Feeling soft here. And then taking your arms out to the side to give you some leverage. And the knees to come somewhere roughly over the hips, but keeping the back on the floor. And just start to rock the knees side to side. Should be nice and soft. Nice and easy movement. Gently rocking this way and that. Over the spine. Doing a couple more each way. Just twisting out all of that back stabilizing we've done today. Maybe just let the legs drop towards the right now for a moment. If they don't reach the floor, use your right hand to support the legs. Make it soft, make it comfy. Inhale, let's come back and over to the other side. Again, just relax, let it be soft and gentle. And when you're ready, come all the way back up. Bring the feet to the floor. The knees fall apart. Just take a moment there. Arms expanding. Chest expanding, hips expanding. Whole body just getting a sense of openness. But equally, once more, we can start to feel the support from the ground. Weight of the body resting heavily onto the earth. Eyes softly closed if they aren't already. And just deciding whether you prefer to stay here now for the last minute or two. If you feel more comfortable straightening your legs, you can switch between the two at any point. Just make this final minute or so your own. Listen to your body, know what's best for you right here in this moment. Allow yourself to be completely present, to feel the sensation of the mat beneath you. Steady earth underneath you, holding you steady here. Start to recognize the stillness in the world around you. Maybe you observe some noises far away, but know that they're not interfering with you pausing here. In fact, nothing can interfere with you in this moment. It's yours and yours alone. And understand that you have this stability within you, this strength. You are your own best support. And while the world around you might be continuing here in your own personal space, you are steady and unmovable. Whatever the universe throws at you, you are steady and unmovable. Whatever is going on in the universe, you are steady and unmovable. So gently now, straighten your legs if you haven't already. Take a moment there, body elongated. And then we'll start to just make some little movements in the fingertips, in the toes. Maybe you begin to reach your arms up so you find a big stretch through the body. And then bring your knees into you. Wrap your arms around those legs and take yourself gently from one side to the other. Finding which side suits you best, which side feels most comfortable. To then roll onto. Use the arms just to walk the chest ever so delicately back up to sit, taking your time with no rush. This is your moment, there's nowhere else to be. But eventually, you'll find yourself coming back into this central point, lifting up the chest high, relaxing the shoulders back down.
Taking a deep inhale, breathing into the front of the body, but breathing into the back of the body. And as you exhale, your hips settle down into that ground. One final time, be aware of that steadiness beneath you, that support beneath you. And then realize you own that steadiness within your own core, your own center. I wish you a peaceful rest of your day on this earth. And thank you so very much. Namaste.